The other day, I came across a long-awaited interview that was one of the best that I've heard in years. It's one of the greatest things I've heard on YouTube in a while, and it is absolutely phenomenal. One of the most groundbreaking research experiments I think I've ever seen. And so I want to kind of compare and talk about these PSYCHEnauts as opposed to the astronauts and the difference between them both. So this is the video right here, DMTx breakthrough panel moderated by Graham Hancock and Andrew Gilmore and Rex Strassman, where they interview the four people that were the pioneers of this experiment, this extended DMT experiment. And this isn't a recommendation for anything, because it would be like recommending skydiving to everyone or something else, getting shot through the cannon. And this is not for everyone. But what you will find in this interview is some amazing stuff and groundbreaking research that I personally think is far more important and valuable than going to the moon or Mars or whatever these like fake things that NASA just pisses money away for. This is far more important. The answers that can be discovered here are beyond comprehension, and the realizations and knowledge and wisdom that can be gained from this type of experiment is far beyond what can be done with the shows that they're putting on, the theater that they're putting on and paying tons and billions and trillions of dollars for. So here's Rick Strassman. That other guy before this was Dr. Andrew Gilmore. They're both amazing. Rick Strassman wrote this book. If you've never read it, it's incredible. It kind of broke the grounds for this thing. And again, this isn't really a drug. This is something that's natural in plants. And I'm not encouraging anything. I'm not a doctor, etc. But this is something that we all have, something that's released in dreams, something that's released in epiphanies without any type of entheogen or anything required. But when these guys do it and they take that particular thing, wow. So there's Graham Hancock. He lends kind of credibility to this video that barely has gone anywhere. But here's one of the guys here. Carl Hayden Smith, amazing, a psychonaut, an absolutely unparalleled adventurer. Besides, like the guys who do ayahuasca and the shamans and things like that, you know, these guys are kind of up there, but they're doing it in a more scientific route than just kind of the fully spiritual route, which is amazing. Both are absolutely amazing. This guy is incredible too, Alexander Bayer or something. I'm not really sure. I can't really read the writing, but amazing dude. All of these guys, by the time you're done with the interview, you will bond with them. They hear some amazing stories, and I'll share some of the highlights and my interpretations and what stuck with me, but I encourage you all to watch through the video. Each one of these four guys was picked perfectly. They express themselves amazingly. They're very smart. They're very into this research. This guy kind of is a little more emotional, has a lot of life things interacting with him. A couple guys, the next guy, this older guy, has just been through so much you can't even imagine. This guy's like a wizard right here. He was amazing, Anton, and absolutely incredible stories, absolutely incredible courage, and just the breakthroughs that these guys have come and they illustrate is amazing. And this is the first time they've all been together. They've all been allowed to talk. Before this, they haven't been able to go public. They haven't been able to go anywhere. And this is another great book, which I consider one of the best books on the subject. Really explores the mind in that state, that ayahuasca DMT state, and what it is. And really, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't claim to know what it is. It doesn't matter if I've done it before. I'm going to keep that a secret. But the exploration aspect of all of this is what is the most important. Like, this is a chemical that for 30 minutes in a very controlled setting, these guys were blasting off into another dimension. They were breaking through almost immediately. And so some of the insights that I gained from this that I can't stop thinking about are, let's see, there was the guy Anton, I believe, who said that, they were kind of talking about similar experiences, different things that they've learned, different skills and reality that they've gained, like increased synchronicity, increased dreaming ability, all this stuff. So many amazing just things that connect reality to this other alternate reality, which is so real, it's beyond comprehension. And it's almost like, that is our true realm, or the true state of the world, and we are just kind of avatars in this little dream of reality or something. There's so many different theories that go so vast and so deep and so just interconnected into everything that it's tough to really explain. But this is an area that needs further research. The governments can continue to lie what's above us. They can go underneath the ocean and, be extreme. Like, you go really deep in the ocean, you are in extreme amounts of danger. You go into space, you're trusting Elon Musk or Bezos with your life in a rocket, which is also extremely dangerous. And these guys never felt any danger. They were in a hospital setting getting their full body monitored, and every single one of them says, when they're asked, do these guys ever, the entities that you meet, do they ever disrespect you or show you that you're not wanted or make you fear that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing in this exploration? And all of them unanimously said no. And they were all like, do you have any fear of this? And they said no, absolutely not. So this is probably the safest of the explorations, technically, because it's natural and it is something that we have lost. It's some kind of connection to the deep sense of reality that we have lost, and it's really miraculous and needs exploring. So one of the guys, some of the stories that stuck with me is Anton said when he goes to this realm, he goes there many times, and he gets to the same spot at the very beginning where he sees, and you can hear the story for yourself, I encourage you to, this is just my kind of reminiscing of it, but he said that he goes and he'll see beings, and he'll see like the little kind of kid and the women symbolic beings, like the kind of like whatever, the lighter ones, and they'll kind of back away, and the women will, like the women-esque ones will take the kids and kind of back away from the guy as he's in there, as he appears, and then a man or someone else will kind of, like someone kind of stronger in essence, will come around and circle around the guy and kind of examine around him at first. And he says that he thinks, since this has happened regularly to him, so these are regular occurrences to these guys, meeting entities in a divine realm and experiencing this stuff and not being terrified, just embracing it, submitting to it, and experiencing it and trying to bring stuff back to this reality. So he says that he believes that they are looking to see if he's connected or not. And when they find out that he is still connected, he has a connection, like a something connecting him, an ethereal thing, then they start explaining to him and they start showing him things. And he was describing, a couple of them were describing like people, like beings will show you almost like on a tablet-esque thing, like some kind of just device or something, where they will basically show them all these beautiful things, all these mathematical, these scientific, these amazing things. And the guy's like, I don't understand this. I can't download it. I can't comprehend it. And the people are just kind of continuously showing as if he does get it and fully understands it. So it's like, at this realm, when they're kind of going and experimenting, they can't really fully grasp it. But is there a way to take back some of that information? These guys could be, like crop circles will show us some kind of patterns. And we've learned math theorems from crop circles, whatever they are. That's another topic. But going into this realm and pulling back things, pulling back geometric shapes, pulling back technology, pulling back wisdom achieved and obtained from these people would be absolutely priceless. And if you could make it work in this realm, that would be a breakthrough like no one's ever fathomed. So they ponder all these ideas. Each one of these guys did it independently, individually. They didn't trip together. So they ponder different future experiments that could be done to gain access. And I thought this was very cool. So they were saying, maybe in the future, 2 people could do this for maybe more than a half hour. They could try to link up in this realm, try to see each other, try to go to a place and then come back to that place, try to pull something from that place or share something with that place and telepathically connect in between. They also said their telepathic connections increased throughout this experience in reality. So many different benefits seem to be coming from this, and it just needs more exploring. This is the nature of reality here. This isn't just going up or down, which tells a lot about our present reality. This tells about a whole nother infinite reality that we know really nothing about. And so these guys really are pioneers, and they all have different things. Like one guy has more of a steampunky visions. He sees all these machines. He sees all these things. So the personal and your own psychic experiences definitely play a part in it. But there's also some kind of part that they talk about that's just like truly, a natural. They're truly observing a natural system in a natural world that they're not privy to, but they're being welcomed in, and it's almost like they appear there. And then there's the people help them. The people teach them. The people guide them. The people really, never attack them. And I guess these guys are all mentally prepared and very prepared. So some people that might not be as strong or as confident might experience something a little different. But they also go to mention that, there's no bad experience, psychedelic experience. And I agree with that. I've had one that could be construed as a nightmare, where I thought I was going to be paralyzed once, and this is with just fungus. And I thought I was going to be crippled. But instead, I learned that I needed to go to a chiropractor, that my skeleton was out of whack. That's my realization that I came out of it with. The next day, I went to a chiropractor, and my back's been perfect for 8 years. Which is unprecedented. So these things, that was just me pulling back something and learning from this small glimpse of the realm. What these guys did is blast far beyond it. Without any fear, they just go, they submit, they're in this perfect setting where their health is being monitored, and they feel comfortable doing this. And they did it amazingly. And each one of them brings a whole new revelation to the story. And I was shaking and getting like the chills and the head tingles the whole time I was listening to this interview, because it was like, there's like 18K views or something, or 20K views, and this is like way more important than Neil Armstrong and them talking about them going in a studio and stepping on some sand, or way more important than, any of these pseudo explorers that we have in our reality that are just like, what? And when you get down to it, they're just doing nothing. These guys are doing some amazing things, and they're starting. What if you could do this for 2 hours? What if you could do it for 3? One of the guys said that even though he was strapped down, he gained the ability to walk around. So he has done this so many times that where most people just lie down on a couch and pass out and just close their eyes and experience the visuals and everything by sitting and knocked out almost, in a suspended state almost. This guy was able to challenge himself and walk around, go to the bathroom, do different kinds of things while also in that realm. So that's a whole nother level. So it's almost like we're at level 1, and there's so much more to go. There's so much more to do. Taking group trips into this thing, bringing back things, seeing what finding out what that connection theory is all about, finding out what everything's all about, hearing the sound, the language, getting some of their language back, trying to somehow come back and have artists describe artists to the visions to the artist, or to musicians, and have them try to nail that sound and that musical system, or that visual color system, or pattern development. It's all so amazing, and there's so much, and everybody describes entities different. One guy said he interacted with a planet-sized spider, which sounds absolutely terrifying, but he wasn't. And if there's a planet-sized spider, what else could there be? There could be anything, absolutely anything in this realm. And if this is the basis of our kind of existence, if it's our true state, or even if it's just in our head, and we have this ability to explore this ability in our heads alone, what does that mean? How many infinite benefits can come from that? And when you look back at the ancient technologies, the Tartarias, everything like that in the past, you wonder, because you see the immaculateness of their designs and their construction and their technology, it makes you wonder if they were going into this world and pulling things back, or if in the past, if some people have gone to this world and pulled bad things back, or if bad isn't even possible in this realm. Maybe that bad doesn't even exist in that realm, because those people look at the bad people and just tear them apart, which would be really nice, so that evil couldn't manifest itself and take over this and corporatize this in some terrible way. But it seems like it's too pure for that to happen, and it's if you go against the grain and your intentions are pure, they're going to slam you to dust, these entities in this other reality. So I hope that's the case, because then it would just keep sending pure psychonauts into this realm, and they would really have the desire to come back and enhance the world with their knowledge and their discoveries. So, wow, so amazing. I could go on and on. These stories just really lingered with me all week. I had to bring them up to you all. And again, I'm not encouraging illegal drug use or any of that. Do whatever you do whatever. I'm not encouraging any of that. I'm not a doctor, but I am just saying that these people that did this exploration deserve an intense amount of respect, and far more than the Freemasons of NASA. And they're really doing something that is amazing, and it's going under the radar. And so I wanted to kind of put it out there a little bit and show you all, and just really check it out. If you want to go, it's almost like listening to a sci-fi movie or something, but it's real, and it's happening, and it's being endorsed by Graham Hancock, Rick Strassman, and it's a full-blown experiment of full-blown scientific capabilities, and it's amazing. And the limits of it are beyond measure. And the beauty and the miracles that can come from this new exploration. It's kind of new, ancient, but this new method of extending it and doing it in a setting that's safe and really exploring it is incredible. It's like breaking through the hollow earth or going through the North Pole in a different sense, and finding new terrain, finding new worlds, new realizations, new awakenings, and bringing them back so we can all embrace them. Art and creativity can expand the vision of our world from them and our reality, and so many other things can benefit. So I definitely recommend it. Check it out. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And wow, the future's looking really cool. So if anyone needs an artist to try and draw these representations, let me know. I'd love to try. But either way, bless you all. Thanks.